BabyYumYummers, thank you so much for joining us. Today is a very special day. I am joined by two incredible women who don't only do what they do for the world and to make all of our lives easier, but also because they have a personal story to tell. I am joined by the Neuroverse and the founders of the Neuroverse, Jules and Tamra, and I'm going to hand over to them to introduce themselves and tell us, number one, why you care, and what role do you play within the Neuroverse? Tamra, let's go to you first.
Thank you Rianette for having us.
Pleasure.
So I would say that I'm the co-founder of the Neuroverse along with Jules, and at the moment, because it's just the two of us involved in the business, we pretty much do everything. So at the moment I am responsible for content development, writing articles for the content. We are designing courses, social skills courses, our Friendship Forward course, which is really exciting, and development of courses for teachers in training in schools so that they get a better understanding of what neurodivergence is. Yeah.
But from a professional point of view, I mean, you are a registered psychologist, counselor, right?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I am. My background is in counseling, but the Neuroverse was not formed based upon that. The Neuroverse was a natural evolution, given my background, but the Neuroverse was formed from the basis of having a neurodivergent child, being a mother, being a parent to a neurodivergent child, and that journey that I have traveled, being his mother, and the deep feelings that you feel when you travel that process.
Yeah. Yes, and understanding the need.
Exactly. So the Neuroverse is a support network for parents of neurodivergent kids. From my point of view, I have a degree in psychology and in marketing, so that's kind of my role in things as well. But as Tam said, I'm a parent of two neurodivergent kids, and it has been a really long journey. And a lot of parents of neurotypical kids don't understand the challenges and the emotions and everything that we face on a daily basis.
Yes.
So Tam and I wanted to get together to provide a support network for parents of neurodivergent kids. So offering talks and education and the right knowledge, also educating parents of neurotypical kids as well, so that they can understand where we're coming from.
And an access to a network of professionals as well. So
Yeah.
So I think the Neuroverse started. I was actually living abroad, and I lived there with my family, and my son was at that developmental stage where his neurodivergence really was becoming very noticeable. So what I felt when we were overseas was very much a lack of support and a lack of resources. So when we came back to South Africa, which is a resource-rich environment, really, if you can afford it, it is, and you have access to it. But what I did notice, and I think this is the very, very real thing for me, is that I noticed that it didn't matter where I was, my parenting journey and my experience as a parent didn't change, depending on the resources that I had. I was still alone. I felt very alone as a parent.
Yes.
And it was there that I met in Jules, and that's where the Neuroverse was formed.
Yeah.
So our
Our basis for everything is support for each other as a community.
Yes.
And that whole rhetoric that it takes a village, and it really does.
And it's
so
shared experience,
building
right?
community is really important for us.
And I think it's something I want to commend you on. From what I can see, you've really managed to build a community. And I think the worst part of any crisis situation, trauma, or like if it's something that you learn about your child, is that feeling of I'm alone and no one understands. Meantime, there is a community and someone who can help, and we need to just reach out. So you are making it so easy for us, and for anyone who needs you. So let's just quickly delve a little bit deeper into who is who do you serve? And then we go into what do you offer? How do you serve? And that would be a good starting point. So who would be your main, if I may say target market, it sounds a bit marketing, but who can benefit from the Neuroverse?
Okay.
Well, all parents of neurodivergent kids benefit from the Neuroverse, as well as teachers who are teaching in mainstream schools, who don't necessarily have the training or the background in terms of how to deal. We have a huge percentage of neurodivergent children in mainstream schools, and actually, as per the South African government and the policies, they have to include neurodivergent children in schools. It's called the White Paper 6.
Yes. So, and I also think that we're also targeting parents of neurotypical kids to educate them as to what is considered neurodiversity, as well as teachers in all schools, educators, anyone. We have so much knowledge, and from different professionals, for example, in our articles, that anyone can really get something from it, to be honest. It's also for parents who are starting their neurodiversity journey and wondering what's going on. And also there's so many parents, because it's very genetic, neurodiversity is very genetic, where they coming from a place of neurodiversity themselves. So it's everybody really, just parents in general, to be honest.
So we are thrilled at BabyYumYum that we are on this journey with you, but why is it important for you to work with us at BabyYumYum, and how does it add value?
I think being able to access so many more people, parents in general, it's about the education, it's getting the message out there, it's supporting, it's so it's parents of all, across the country, across the world, being able to give the right knowledge, and for parents, support for parents of neurodivergent kids, but also the knowledge for parents of neurotypical kids as well.
Yeah, and really making sure that we open up the doors to more.
And
want to add something?
take away the stigma. Be neuro-inclusive. Let's work together to create a different kind of community where we are inclusive.
Love that, and it's so important. It will add a great value. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more? You've mentioned all the platforms, but where's my go-to point?
Well, they can Google the Neuroverse,
Yes.
and we've got a website there, and all our details will be on that. And then we're also on social media. We're on Instagram, on Facebook. We have a closed group on Facebook just for parents, and then we have our WhatsApp. So I think the first port of call would probably be the website.
So that's www.theneuroverse.co.za, and our handles on Instagram and Facebook are the Neuroverse ZA as well, so they can look us up. We post all our articles there as well.
Fantastic. And there's one thing that I need to ask, because I think it's so brilliant. Your friendship skills group, just in like a nutshell. What is it? How does it work? Who attends it? Tell us, please.
So it's called the Friendship Forward Social Skills Group, and it's open to children who are neurodivergent, but also actually to all children.
Okay.
Because it's especially at the age that they are, where we target the group, it's from the ages of 7 to 9.
Okay.
Or from the ages of 10 to 12.
Okay.
And they are going through a lot of social difficulties at that time in their lives, but particularly neurodivergent children. So they can get in touch with us also via the website. And it's just a very powerful, it takes the format of a real life play date, essentially, for children. So it's a comfortable environment for them to be in. And it's a really lovely space.
Yeah, I think just to touch on that is a lot of neurodivergent kids have social difficulties, reading social cues, not understanding nuances, conversation, very focused on certain things. And social skills can be learned. And so week by week we take them, it's an 8-week program.
Okay.
And week by week we take them on a different skills journey and build up over those 8 weeks to teach them certain skills that to create conversation, body language, how to ask questions, how to interact. So it's really about giving confidence to those kids as well, to be able to form friendships.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
So focus
so
on bullying and how do you respond if you're bullied?
Okay.
Because obviously neurodiverse children are often bullied within the context of mainstream schooling rather.
Yes.
And most of our children are in mainstream schooling or homeschooling.
And those are challenges you're going to face, in our daily lives.
Yeah,
As a human being, we don't live on an island alone. We need to be able to deal with it. So it's so wonderful that they don't feel alone. They are part of a group.
exactly.
They can see like, oh, okay, what's your story? What's my story? And we learn together.
And it's
in a
real
safe
time
space.
skills, so it's not contrived. It's
Yes,
like real
yes.
working together.
That's the difference between sort of individual therapy with a child, for example,
Yes.
and having it within like a play date format where they are all together and they are learning these skills together, and they're also picking up on, well, I really had a bad day and how did you cope with that, and paying each other compliments, and
That's
and
fantastic.
it's really building of their confidence and their self-esteem.
And I am so thankful that it is in person and not only on screen, or like we are in a room together and you are bringing people together, because that can you imagine in 50 years time from now, the friends who met each other there are like, do you remember where we met? So you never know, it could lead into a beautiful friendship. You never know. So thank you so much for the work you do. Jules, Tamra, thank you for your time. Thank you for
Thanks,
what
Rianette.
you are offering BabyYumYum as well.
And we're so excited to work with you guys.
Thank you. And John, may you continue and to just be inspired. And thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Please go to theneuroverse.co.za and become part of the community, because you're not alone. And if you're a grandparent or an uncle, an aunt, a brother, a sister, maybe a cousin or a niece, we have tools that can help us. So thank you again.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And thank you to the audience.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your day.